Okay, so we're getting ready to go to Liberty Pools. So after the summer pool, spring summer pool, whatever they
It's
call
in
it.
a
Yeah, it's
transition
kind of
period.
they call it spring, but it's in June.
Yeah.
The tractor was still smoking even with the head redone. It was still smoking a lot. So we bought the bullet, bit the bullet, bought a overbore kit. So it took the engine from a 3 1/8 to 3 1/4 sleeves.
Wasn't there
And
something wrong with the sleeves too?
well, we figured that when we rebuilt the motor, the sleeves were just
Toast.
yeah, we honed them up and stuff, but either we honed them too far and it was letting oil by the rings, the reason it was smoking so bad. And we'd had the head redone before then, so we knew the head was good now. So we just bit the bullet and bought the overboard kit, and that was a complete kit. It came with 3 1/4 sleeves, new O-rings for the sleeve, new piston rings, and new high compression pistons. And they're actually a little bit higher compression piston than what the factory high compression pistons that was in it originally was at. So we have high hopes for it, but Friday night, Friday afternoon when I went to load it, the brand new carburetor, we had to put a brand new carburetor on it because I was working trying to adjust the governor and the quit surging, and I ended up breaking the linkage off the side of the carburetor for the throttle. So we put a brand new carb on it. We had it running beforehand. It was running great, and then Friday it wouldn't run without the choke on, and we played around, took it apart,
8 different
worked on
times.
it. Yeah, we had it off like 8 different times, and we just could not get that carburetor to work without the choke being on all the time, which is just weird. But we got to looking at it, and it wasn't near as good a quality carburetor as some of the other ones we'd had beforehand. We stole a carburetor off a BN tractor that we were restoring. It ran, but then as soon as we stopped and shut it off, it just poured fuel out. So we ended up taking two of the old carburetor that broke, and the one we had a parts one laying from before that had broke on us. I was able to piece the two together and got it to run. It seems like it's running pretty good. So
It's running decent, I would say.
It was running. It's running decent. So
better than it was.
Yep. So we'll take it to the polls and see what it does.
Cut to the polls.
Okay, so now it's after the pulls. As you can see in the videos, it's not smoking nowhere near as bad as it did before. So one thing I forgot earlier is we did put a new stack on a little taller to get it up above us.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that entirely. Free.
Yeah.
Well, except for the flapper.
Yeah, we had to buy a new flapper, but the pipe was free. We found in our scrap metal dumpster. So
sometimes the neighbors will throw some stuff in the scrap metal dumpster, and we'll go take a peek and see if there's anything we want out of it.
Yep.
Might as well.
But it was still smoking a little bit, but that was the carburetor. That carburetor that we pieced together was not working properly. It wouldn't idle down. It was running like a third half throttle all the time, and you could hear it breaking up when we were giving it full throttle going down the track, and we just weren't performing even as good as we had done with the old setup before we changed it. So
it was not up to
snuff. And it should do way better because it's got more cubic inches and higher compression. So, but while we were at the pulls, there was a guy that pulls he does a lot of farmals, and he has a couple C's and stuff they pulls by the name of Cliff. Him and I were talking, and he told me to get a Carter carb for a C. They're the best ones for pulling. So he also told me that if we want to gain a little bit more power, if we can find a 340 head and intake, we can gain a little more power out of the engine that way too. So it might be something we watch for in the future, see if we can find something. We ended up, I was working on another tractor of ours and called one of the neighbors to ask him some questions, and I asked him if he happened to have a Carter carb for a C, and he had one. So we bought it. I put it on today. Something ain't quite right in it. It's not drawing fuel through or something. It's not working proper, but it's just something he had laying around, and I just threw it on hoping maybe it might work, but it didn't. So we're going to order a rebuild kit for it, get that rebuilt, have it ready for the pull on the 12th of October that we have coming up in at the Tioga Early Days.
Same place as the fairground.
Yep, same place as our fairground. So we're gonna try to take it up there and pull it as well. So we're gonna try to get a rebuild kit for it for then. And then the day of the pulls, I actually want a set of rims for the front, and I have had a set of hubs for a while now for the front end.
We just need the rims and tires.
Yeah, I went and bought a set of donut tires that I think are gonna be nice and small to fit those rims right and be kind of small and kind of give it a nice lowered rake, and
give it a little bit more of an angle,
and it'll lighten the front end up a little bit more to where we can add weight in the back more. So I'm hoping by the time we go to Tioga, we'll have that done. We'll have the carb rebuilt and put on it and have it hopefully running really good, and take it up there and kind of redeem ourselves. And I mean, we didn't do horrible at Liberty.
No, for what we had, we did fairly
second
decent.
And third, which is good, but it's not. It was nowhere definitely not pulling the way it did at the summer pulse. So hopefully we'll get all that done before we go to Tioga and take it up there and see what she does, and hopefully we in the right direction then.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, we'll catch you on the next clip. So ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you know that we tried our best for filming a lot of these ones, and some of the quality is not going to be as good on the bigger cam because we had some issues after the first pull, and my dad had to carry a battery pack for the tractor around and wasn't able to get the tractor to hold the nice camera for the tractor. So I got what footage I could salvage, but transferring from an iPhone and sometimes partially vertically instead of horizontal just doesn't translate well in software for editing, and being just low quality, trying to get it off of his phone, which doesn't have, all the normal apps and stuff. So we got what we could, trying to get this out to you at a decent time for this video, close to the last poll. So I just figured I'd inform you guys what is going on and why it doesn't look like that. You'll get a little bit better of an explanation in said footage, since I'm pretty much done editing the video and figured you could use some context. So enjoy the rest of the video. Have fun with that.
Here, yeah.
All right, there we go.
Give it some throttle. Now I'll try the... Do it again. Oh, you piece of crap.
Of course. Some give when I went like this. It went all the way past.
Yeah, you overextended it.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing I could do.
Yeah, it's a thing. And you broke it. All right.
Son of a... Of course.
All right, quick. Don't touch the throttle. Just put it first and ease it back to the truck.
All right.
back from the polls. We were very excited because they had 3,000 pound class.
That's something we've never been able to do before.
Most places start at 3,500. We're having some issues with, for some reason, the battery won't start it. We have to put a jump pack on it every time to get it to start. It's something we got to kind of look into. The first video you see will be his first. He was the first one to hook for the day, and they were having some sled problems, and then the throttle linkage broke.
Snapped entirely.
Snapped the key off the end, so you'll see. I think he's got a picture.
The picture will be in when we're talking about it because I have the overhead cam on, so you could see the whole interaction.
Yeah, and so I ended up putting a pair of vice grips on it to hold that to make the runs. They got the sled. They had to do some different stuff to get the sled to work. Went back out, pulled 3,000. Then we did 3,500. 4,000 and 4,500 pounds. Had a little bit of an issue one time with it getting hot, but that was, we were letting it run a lot.
We let it idle while we were waiting.
Having the jump started all the time with the jumper pack, and for some reason when it's idling, it seems to make it get hot. So
yeah,
we got some stuff we got to work on this winter. Like I said, we got to work on, and the carb's still not opening up. The new carburetor we put on is working, but it's not working 100% up to par. And some of that may be the governor. I want to work on both of them. Got to figure out why it's not getting juice to the battery and holding juice.
Yeah.
He was able to, even with it running like crap, we were able to sneak out a 4th place finish and get a ribbon in the 4,000 pound class, which is the class that we normally do fairly well in.
It kind of like how it works is we start out and we don't really have as much weight to like hold it down, and then we get better, and then four is like peak, and then we get too much, and then it becomes uncompetitive.
4,500 pound, I pulled it, and I mean it didn't do bad. No, but it was, and it was pulling the wheels at the end of the track, like it was. But then the track was kind of rough too. There,
we dug so many holes. I could see like every single time we dug.
They didn't really water it or anything, so it was kind of dry, and it was kind of hard to. It was a little uneven, and if you didn't steer just right, you would get into some soft, loose holes, and then you'd spin out. So but and all in all, it wasn't bad. We had fun.
Yeah, for our first time there, it wasn't bad. I mean, there was some delays.
First time we've pulled anywhere else, so yeah, it was fun. Learned some stuff, got some stuff to work on this winter. We'll see what happens for next year. Hopefully we come back even better next year.
Hopefully. There's only one way to find out. Subscribe and stay tuned. To the outro now. I guess this is the outro, actually. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this video, give this video a like. If you like the channel, you can subscribe and turn on notification bells to get notified of all of further uploads. And if you really want to help me out, click cards in the video to take more content. And with that all ado, adios.